Let me walk you through the boiling water method, which is the method that you use for canning anything acidic. That could be your jams, jellies, chutneys, gastriques, nice lemon curd, anything that has a pH of 4.6 or less. Here's how you do it. You need, of course, canning jars. They have the wonderful little tops to them that come in 2 pieces, very important for getting a good seal. You have to have a set of canning tongs. They look like this. Don't substitute regular tongs. They're slippery and can really get you into trouble. A canning funnel is great to have. If you don't have one, just use a nice little ladle. It's going to help you be neat about your work. You're going to need something to remove bubbles from inside the jar. So if you have a canning kit, it's going to come with this. This is a bubble tool, but you can use a chopstick or a wooden skewer. Just make sure it's not metallic because that would scratch the glass. This is a lid lifter. If you have a canning kit, that's going to come in your canning kit, and it's a great thing to have. It's for picking up lids out of hot water, but if you don't have a lid lifter, just use these, your fingers. You're going to need, of course, for the boiling water method, boiling water. So I have here a canner. That's great. If you don't have a canner, you can use any kind of pot that is at least 3 inches taller than your tallest jar and has a lid. So it could be a pasta pot, lobster pot, whatever you have. In it, you're going to put a cake cooling rack or a canning rack or a layer of rings on the bottom, and that's going to keep your jars off the bottom of the canner so you get good water circulation all around. Wash up all your jars and equipment with some nice hot water and dish soap. You're not trying to sterilize anything at this point, you just want to get it nice and clean. Then you're going to take the lids from your jars and put them bottom side down in a heat-proof bowl. Arrange all of your other equipment out on a nice clean dish towel and you're ready to go. Now it's time to set up your canner. Put your rack in your canner and then put in a full layer of jars, even if you're not going to use them all, to keep them from tipping over during processing. Add cold water to fill and cover your jars, then set your canner on high heat, put the lid on, and bring it to a boil. The goal is not to sterilize your jars at this point, you just want to heat them so you're not pouring a hot recipe into cold jars, which could cause them to crack. Use your tongs to remove the first jar from the canner and pour the water in it directly over the lids in your heat-proof bowl. This will soften the little pink gasket and give you a chance of getting a great seal. Empty the remaining jars directly back into the canner and place them open side up on your towel-covered surface. Ladle your recipe into your jars, being careful to maintain the amount of headspace indicated in your recipe. That's the distance between the top of the liquid and the top of the lid. In this case, it's a 1/4 inch. Run a bubble tool or other non-metallic implement around the inside of the glass. This will release any trapped air. Use a piece of dampened paper towel to thoroughly clean the rims of your jars. Then center the lids on the jars and apply the rings just fingertip tight. That's important. Too tight and you won't get a good seal. Lower your jars into the canner. Be sure that they're covered by at least 2 inches of water. Put the lid on the canner, turn the heat up and bring it to a rolling boil. Then process for the amount of time indicated in your recipe. In this case, it's 10 minutes. After your processing time is complete, turn off your canner, remove the lid, and let your jars rest for 5 minutes. Then, using canning tongs, lift the jars straight up and out of the canner. There's going to be a little water on top. Don't tip that off. If you do, you might tip your recipe right out of the jar. Set them straight down on a towel-covered surface and let them rest for 24 hours to let the seal completely form. After 24 hours, check the seals. Here's how you do it. Remove the rings from your jars and gently push up on the lids. If the lids are firmly in place, you have a great seal. Congratulations! Clean off your jars, then you can store them in a cool, dark place, and your food will be shelf-stable for up to a year. And that's how you put them up.